Okay, I just wrote a poem. I just wrote this because a lot of times when I listen to music, it kind of inspires, like, um, it inspires poems or like a certain memory or like a topic that I want to write about. So I was listening to, I don't know, a bunch of songs, and this just kind of came to my mind of how I feel like everyone in my life has left me. That got dark real quick. Okay. And then this is mainly like friends, but it's also been like other people too. Family and stuff. I fear that everyone I'll love will leave me, basically. Oh my gosh. When I become friends with someone new, I'm just like, okay, I just have to wait for the time for when they are kind of done with me. I almost feel like to people as if I'm disposable. Like, it's good for the time being, but it's not permanent. Almost like I'm a plastic water bottle. Like, yes, it's good, it does the job, but it's eventually going to be tossed out. And whereas, like, there's glass cups that people keep, and I have not been a glass cup to anyone. Why am I relating it to beverage holding things? I don't know. And then I also feel like, okay, how long is it going to take for me to disappoint this person in my life? Or how long is it going to take for them to, like, leave me, basically? That's kind of the topic this is about, and like, on that topic of thinking or fearing everyone leaving me, what I've ended up doing in a lot of situations is I'm like, I, like, will love this person, like, as a friend or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, I can't handle the heartbreak of another person leaving me, so then I just push them away. And, not so much as by being mean or whatever, but by distancing myself and then having the doubts fill in my head of like, oh, I'm not enough. Like, they're just gonna leave me anyways, so I should just leave first, They can't leave if you push them away. Starts crying. Okay. So I wrote this. It's on the shorter side for one of my poems, at least, because I tend to write multi-page poems. Yeah. Okay. I don't have a title yet. I was thinking of the title Unlovable and then, like, striking through because it's like, yo, I am lovable, and, like, putting those thoughts out there that, we need to speak positivity to ourselves, and instead of, like, feeding into our doubts and our fears and our kind of, like, insecurities, I think we should feed into love and appreciation and into positivity, because that's what we want to cultivate, and what we think of and what we focus on is what we manifest. I just wrote this like literally a couple minutes ago, so I might need editing or revising. Just saying. Okay. When did I become this way? When did I turn into who I am today? Why do I always tear myself apart? Why do I push everyone away? They make it look easy to love me, then leave me. So I began to turn love away, to refuse the idea that anyone could love me. Because if he couldn't love me, how could anyone else? I can't accept the love of others. I refuse it. They can take it back so easily. So to me, it's better to not love at all instead of risking another broken heart. I need someone to stay, but they never do. I can't be hurt if there's no one to hurt me, so I make them hate me, despise me even. I run away, afraid of what might happen if I stay. I can't handle the pain of someone loving me, then changing their mind again. I am unlovable. But is it because of me, or the walls I've built to shut everyone out? Could the reason no one stays be that I took the easy route? Pushing everyone away instead of the inevitable heartbreak. But was it inevitable? Or habitable? Could it have been? A love with no end? I fear I'll never know the answer to that question. Okay, that's it. Usually when I write stuff, I just write it in the notes app. Okay. I usually just write it in the notes app. And yeah, I have a bunch in there. I like talking about my poems and the meaning, even though it's kind of clear what the meaning is. But the end of being like, was the heartbreak inevitable, or could the relationship or the friendship have been habitable? Could it have been good, healthy? And then that's the thing. It's like, could it have been that? Could it have been habitable? A love with no ends? I fear I'll never know the answer to that question, because I ended up pushing myself away and distancing myself because I feared heartbreak without even knowing if that would have been the end. And so that's kind of the whole thing, is I'm like, will I ever know if a friendship or a relationship or a situation could end like positively with said love or habitability? I fear that I'll never know if a situation like that comes into my life, because I worry that I'll just end up pushing everyone away and that I'll end up alone, which is like what I don't want to do. But it's like so contradictory, because I don't want to end up alone, but I push people away because I fear that they're just going to leave me. So it's like you have to risk like getting hurt in the process of finding like love and those things that you desire. I'm gonna find that person, I'm gonna like love them and feel so attached to them, and then I fear that them being like, you know what, actually change my mind, let me take that love back and go give it to somebody else, because that's happened to me so many times. Starts crying. I laugh at these situations that I know this is like very like deep, hurtful stuff, but I feel like I laugh at it to like ease the pain or whatever. Like, I know this is hurtful stuff. Like, yo, I've got like a heart full of trauma, but like I know at the end of the day, like I shouldn't feel that way. And it's sad, you know, the stuff that I'm saying and the hurt and whatever, just thinking that nobody's gonna like stay, and that because nobody has stayed. And I know laughing at it is inappropriate. Like, I know this is like real talk, you know what I mean? But I feel like I laugh at it to keep from crying. I guess it's just a coping mechanism for me, that I'm like, I'd rather laugh at it and kind of like make light of it than like focus on how deeply it's hurt me. Because if I focus on the hurt from it, then it would just be endless. And a lot of people have hurt me. And, you know, I wish I didn't give it the power to define me, but I feel like I have. And I don't want to, you know, because, like, I know everyone doesn't leave. Like, I know that. But, like, the doubts and stuff and my insecurities feed into the idea that, like, yo, no one's gonna love you. Everyone's gonna leave you, so why bother trying? Like, push people away because they can't leave you if you push them away, you know? That whole idea, it just circles in my head. And it's so toxic. And I shouldn't be that way. No one should feel that way. But I feel like so many of us do. And it's so sad because we feel that we are not worthy of being loved by someone else, as if someone else's love like defines us. But it shouldn't. But we let it. We let the love of other people define us. And I do too, you know? It's like you feel lesser of a person almost because you feel like, was I not worthy? What was I not enough for that person to make them stay, to have them give me their love, you know? And it's like, it's real, you know? Real stuff, you know, talking about it. But like, I feel like a lot of us feel that way, and it's, you know, I wish, I don't know, I wish that we didn't like feel that way, but like obviously we can't help how we feel and what we think and whatever. But it would be my hope for, I mean, me and like everyone to feel that they are worthy of being loved, that they are lovable, that, you know, so often we feel like we're hard to love, but it's not that we're hard to love. We are, we should feel that we're easy to love, and the ones that don't love us right just weren't meant for us. I saw a quote that said, "You can be a whole package and still end up at the wrong address." When this happens, the receiver will mishandle you because, one, they don't know what to do with you, and two, they weren't meant to have you in the first place. And so that's kind of the whole idea. It's a hard pill to swallow that not every person in your life is meant to stay, because some of those people you feel like that they come into your life and you feel like, yo, I can't imagine a life without you. But at the same time, you lived a life before them and you can live a life after them. There's such thing as friend breakups. I've had a plentiful of them. And it's hurtful. And it's left me feeling like there's something wrong with me. But, at the end of the day, it's like everyone makes mistakes, and some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. And, then they serve their purpose in that specific time. And actually, let me read this other quote that I have. Why did I go off onto this whole, spiel of self-love? Maybe someone needed to hear this today. I don't know. God says, "The reason some people have turned against you and walked away from you without reason has absolutely nothing to do with you. It is because I have removed them from your life, and they cannot go where I am taking you next. They will only hinder you in your next level because they have already served because they have already served their purpose in your life." God's plans are better than mine, and even though it doesn't always make sense, it doesn't have to make sense. Realizing that you don't have to have all the pieces put together, you don't have to understand everything, but just know that you are worthy of love no matter what anyone has told you or tried to convince you, or even yourself, if your doubts and your insecurities and any of those things have tried to convince you that you are unlovable or unworthy of love. That is absolutely not true. Everyone is worthy and deserving of love.
If loving me is hard, I apologize. If I push you away, promise you'll stay by my side. He's been broken, traumatized.